Hey guys, real quick, just a little update here. This is that um, restrictor that I actually ended up opening up some, like I discussed earlier in another video. And I did that because I wasn't convinced that I actually needed a restrictor. Didn't use one on my other turbo setup. Never had a problem whatsoever. Um, well, I had one this time. I've since swapped this out on first start of that turbo system. Man, it was just pouring pretty good out the turbine housing, out the compressor housing, and I checked flow from the turbo to the Spartan pump, from the Spartan pump to the oil pan. I checked all those. It was flowing, but I don't know if it's because I had the check valve in there or not. The cracking pressure is only about 2 psi. So that shouldn't have been anything that the Spartan pump had a problem overcoming. It was my understanding that that Spartan pump could pretty much suck a golf ball through a garden hose. But I guess not. So just now I replaced this with one that had the 35 thousandths hole. I got some guidance from the people that actually make that pump. Was asking them if that, all the issues that could come about by running a check valve. I've never got an answer on that. But he did say that on a ball bearing turbo, you should run the 35 thousandths one. But then for some reason, the journal bearing, he was saying run a 55 thousandths. So it's all I had. I didn't feel like opening it up more than what I had gotten already. I'm going to run it a little while like that. But I did put it in there, started up, checked it. Man, nothing's coming out. And I did recheck the feed from the Spartan pump to the oil pan, and it's flowing still. Kind of sputtering here and there. It'll feed, then dry, feed, then dry, feed, then dry. And I imagine that's indicative of what little oil is getting through there now. Because remember, I guess the goal is just to lubricate inside there. You're not supposed to try to bathe that center section in oil. And so it is getting oil through there. We know that. Verified that tonight. All right, so a little quick thing about HKS blow-off valves. Okay. This one, I'll tell you right now, is a real HKS blow-off valve. This is a fake. When I first bought this one, I looked online, and they said, oh, there's some surefire ways you can tell if it's a fake. First, it won't have, on this end, it won't have the HKS in, see the HKS, how it has the colored lettering? It won't have that. And they gave some other telltale signs and stuff like that. But in the end, yeah, this is a fake one. Now, I'm just going to come out and say this is a relatively old design blow-off valve. It's been out forever. So I'm not going to say I was a fool believing a deal too good to be true, because prices should have came down on these quite significantly since they were first out, obviously. And with eBay and people able to get, bulk purchases, turn around and sell them for cheap. I wasn't thinking I was a fool really to buy this for like 60, 80 bucks, whatever it was back then. But when this one didn't work right, okay, I went ahead and went to a speed shop and bought one, and it was like, I think at the time I bought it, this has been a while back, a long time ago basically. It was like 300 bucks, I think, okay. My real fear was that I was buying it from a speed shop that was probably selling these on eBay, and I was just going to get this for 300 bucks. So I got it. It worked okay. I've always doubted it though, just because of the fakes. Now the Chinese make some hellaciously good fake things, and I've always wondered why, if you're going to go the extent to copy something to this degree, why in the hell don't you just go ahead and make it right and sell it that way? Does it look 99% like the real part, but then not function like the real one does? I can't answer that. I don't know. But at any rate, since then I've gotten online, and there's been some valves. I don't know if you have one or not, but you can, on some of the fake ones, they don't have this little sliver in between each bolt hole, that little sliver cut. It'll be smooth. And I said, aha, that's how you tell. But then, of course, the real one has that sliver. This one has it as well. So I saw some on YouTube as they were going through. You'll see a bunch of these comparisons on how you can tell a fake from a real. And most of them that I saw did not have that. They had that, HKS on the top. They had the HKS on the side. And of course the one in the front that has the colorized in the HKS lettering. Well, this one has all that too. And this is the real one. Okay, now these on the side, no matter if it's real or not, doesn't have the colorization of the HKS. But of course there, that one as well. Now if you look at the coloring on that, it looks kind of crisper, I guess. Let me just check. Like you could see it at all angles when light shined on it. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit crisper. They said then you could also tell by looking at this serial number on the side. And you see how, you know, that's been obviously etched or pounded in there with like a fairly legitimate like scoring tool. On this one here, it's the exact same casting for some reason. And this one doesn't look as crisp. See that? Okay. So you look inside, and I'll tell you, if you look inside, here's the fake one. Look at the silver there. Now that says sequential blow-off valve, basically the silver ring. I'm gonna just move the light around on it so you can see it. Now look at this one. You see how much more better made that is? So I'm going to say that's one sign that you know you've gotten the real one. You see how crisp that is? You can actually read that. Blow off sequential. This one here, yeah, you have a hard time. You can read it, but you really got to sit there and concentrate and move the light just right. It's not as crisp. Okay? I can't really see a real difference with the center red part. Except that one here. Nah, it looks about the same. Again, it just, I don't know. But at any rate, then they started to say, well, one way you can tell for sure is on the real one. Look at where these halves come together. This top and this part here. You see that gap in between? It's really machined really well. Look at that. Look on the fake one. It's not as closely machined. There's quite a bit more gap there. There's the real one. There's the fake one. Another thing, one that seems to be almost always on the fake ones. Look at the height of these nuts here. They're high profile, whereas these are lower profile. Do you see that? It's high profile, and of course the lower profile. They say that's a telltale sign. Okay? But the one way, apparently, you can tell, and that's why the scale's sitting here, the real one is heavier than the fake one. So let's put that to the test. So we're going to hit hello. We got it set up in kilograms. So we're going to put this one on first. It's reading 0.49. So we're going to say 0.5 grams. Okay. .43. So 0.49 comparatively to 0.43. So the heavier one is the real one. And the reason they say that is because the internals in here, they're metal as opposed to being plastic in these. When you look inside here, we'll just kind of turn this around real quick. We'll get inside there if I can prop this up right. Come on, baby. So you look inside here on that. To me, there it is. To me, I don't even really see that big of a difference in there. And of course, let me just get these setting side by side where I can look in at the same time. It looks like it's just better machined. The plastic part on here, you see how it's got the discernible casting, I don't know, sections in it. Over here, it doesn't so much. I'm going to turn this around in there to where it's kind of facing the same way. See, that's real smooth. You see how smooth the plastic is, the black? Over here, it's not. It's kind of grainy. Okay? If you look, you can see down past that part, you can see the red shaft continuing down there. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't look right here. Even the red, that shaft right there, looks better than this one. So anyway, that's the key. If you have an opportunity, of course, what it'll mean is you buy one and you weigh it. And again, I don't know, obviously from vendor to vendor, these weights are going to be different, I'm sure. 0.43 isn't a whole heck of a lot lighter than the 0.49, but it is heavier. So this is 1 pound, what, 8 ounces, 1 pound 9 ounces, and this isn't even a pound. Okay, so anyway, whatever help that can give you, just thought I'd throw that in there. If you want to buy an HKS blowout valve, let me know. I got a real one I can sell you.